1.4 million Australian adults have been sexually abused as children, yet countless more instances of child abuse go unreported, as victims are often reluctant to speak up. One brave young woman is working hard to encourage other survivors like herself to come forward. Annie Jones was sexually abused by her stepfather for 2 years from the age of 13. She's just joined forces with her mum to launch an organisation empowering survivors to speak and urging adults to listen. Annie Jones and her mum, Tracy Morris, join us now from Brisbane. Thank you both so much for coming in tonight. Annie, your organisation is called No More Fake Smiles. You got pretty good at faking smiles as a teenager. Why did you feel the need to pretend that everything was okay when it certainly wasn't?
I felt the need to pretend that everything was okay because all I wanted to do was fit in with everyone else, be a normal teenage girl, and I didn't want to make fuss around myself or people to feel sorry for me or have pity towards me. So I wore a fake smile to fit in and just act normal because I didn't want to be different. That's pretty much why I wore a fake smile.
You were abused by your stepfather, a man you trusted from the age of 13. What led you to finally speak up and to tell your mum what was happening?
Nothing really led me to speak up. It was kind of an accident that actually disclosed the abuse. I was sitting on the end of my bed getting in trouble by both of my parents, and my stepfather's reaction towards me made me feel so horrible about myself, and I just felt like it was such a hypocritical response that I think I just had like so many years of hate built up inside me and anger towards this man that I just turned around and I said, well, it's nothing more than you've ever done to me, and that's how the abuse was disclosed. So
was that a relief?
It wasn't really led up to, it was just, yeah.
Was it a relief for you?
Sorry?
Was it a relief for you to finally be able to tell someone what was going on?
Oh, it was the biggest, like, weight off my shoulders ever. Like, I genuinely felt like I could walk, like, freely again. I know that sounds so crazy, but, yeah, I don't know. It was just so good for people to finally know because I was dying for someone to ask me, like, are you okay? Or ask me about it so I could just blurt it out. But, like, opportunity kind of never came up. So, yeah, I felt amazing after it happened.
Tracy, how did you react when Annie told you?
Oh, well, I was in absolute shock, especially as he was sitting right next to me and she disclosed directly to his face. But, you know, I asked her a few questions and, you know, like when did this happen? And she answered, and in my gut, I just knew she wasn't lying. And as hard as it was for me to believe, I knew that something had happened.
What is crucial here in this scenario is that when Annie disclosed, as you call it, told you what had happened to her, you heard her and you believed her straight away. How important is that in a child's recovery from sexual abuse, that they're heard and believed by the adults around them?
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. A child's disclosure is a cry for help. And they've already been let down by one adult. So it's so important for somebody else to hear them and walk beside them. They can't be expected to stop an offender by themselves. I don't think it's really recovery that they ever get from this trauma. They've got a long journey of healing ahead of them, and they need that support network around them to learn those coping mechanisms so that they can live a happy life. And without that support network, those coping mechanisms can be really negative, like drug abuse, alcohol, you know, even suicide. So it's absolutely crucial.
Annie, how much does it mean to you that your mum didn't doubt you, that she immediately stepped up? Did that help, as your mum's saying, with your recovery?
Now it means so much to me, but at the time when I disclosed, I kind of just expected her to believe me because she was my mum and, like, parents are meant to care about you, so it didn't really run through my mind that she wouldn't believe me. But now, obviously, that I've done a lot of research and know a lot about abuse, it is quite common that children aren't believed by her parents, so I am extremely, extremely grateful now, and my mum and I have the best relationship, so I guess I'm pretty lucky, yeah.
And this validation led you to report the abuse to police eventually. Your perpetrator was jailed. It's not like that for so many child victims of sexual abuse. Most of them are fighting to be heard, aren't they? How do we know when a young person is in trouble? What are the signs?
It's quite difficult, I guess, to know if a young person is in trouble because, as our name, No More Fake Smiles, a lot of kids do suffer in silence because they don't want to be different, they don't want to be weird, like they just suffer in silence to try and make it better on their own and deal with it themselves. But there are some signs, like I did have a few cries for help that seemed so obvious to me, but I guess the main thing is when a child is acting out of the ordinary, their behaviour is a bit different. It's really important for someone to ask, hey, like, are you okay? And just give them that opportunity to talk, even if you don't think it's that necessary to ask that question, because so many kids are just asking to be, like, dying to be asked, are you okay? And then they can just openly say, no, I'm not, and then talk about it. So, yeah, just those little signs about, I don't know, irregular behaviour, I guess.
So that's why you've started No More Fake Smiles. I know that you want to empower victims to speak up as you have done. What are you hoping to achieve through this organisation?
Well, I kind of created this as something I wish I had when I was going through the abuse. So I guess my main aim is to just let people know that they are not alone, because I guess that's the first thing. Like, once you know you're not alone, you're able to talk up, you find comfort in other people. So I just want people to know that they're not alone. And through our social media pages and chat forums and things, like, it's quite clear that we're not alone, we're in this together and we can all fight it together.
And what about you, Tracy? What are you hoping that the organisation will be able to do for other victims?
Oh, that we can help them, well, firstly, that they can speak up, but that we can help them and their families get some therapy, navigate the justice system. We've already been doing that, had a little bit of success this week with the family. It's just helping them navigate so many things that you have to go through that are so foreign, because it's just thrown at you. It's not, it's a curveball.
It's amazing to see you both taking action through these extraordinarily tough circumstances. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us about No More Fake Smiles tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.